You're not afraid they'll hurt you again. You're afraid the right person will finally show up, and you'll realize you already gave your trust, energy, and softness to people who only trained you to push real love away. Stay until the end, or you'll keep rehearsing heartbreak with the wrong people and meet the right one already emotionally unavailable. You tell yourself you're done with love. You joke that you're going to stay alone, focus on money, the gym, your grind. You say things like, love is a distraction and relationships are a liability now. Everyone laughs, hits like, moves on. But late at night, when it's just you and your chest, you know that's not the full story. Because you still want someone who doesn't feel temporary. You still want someone you don't have to pretend around. You still want someone where your guard can actually rest for once. You're not scared of being alone. You're scared of being alone after giving so much of yourself to people who didn't know what they were holding. You gave years, time, loyalty, explanations, second chances, versions of you that no one will ever see again. You tried so hard to be the stable one, the understanding one, the rock in someone else's chaos. You thought that eventually that effort would guarantee you a safe place to land. Instead, it trained you to believe a lie, that your love is something people use to heal and then leave, that your loyalty is something people accept and then outgrow, that your softness is something people crave and then punish. So now, when someone new shows up and actually looks healthy, consistent, kind, you don't feel calm. You feel suspicious. You feel tired. You feel like, I don't know if I have it in me to start all over again. Stoicism steps into this exact fear, not to kill your feelings, but to anchor them. The Stoics never said, don't love. They said, love in a way that doesn't destroy your ability to be yourself when the person leaves. That's your real fear, isn't it? Not that you'll never find love again, but that loving again will cost you pieces of yourself you don't know how to regrow. You've already experienced it. The version of you before that relationship and the version of you after are not the same man. Before, you trusted more easily. You texted first without overthinking. You believed someone's words the first time. After, you analyze everything. You wait to see if they'll text back first. You assume distance means you did something wrong. You assume closeness means a betrayal is coming. From a Stoic perspective, that's not just heartbreak. That's a shift in what you value. You started valuing protection over connection, control over openness, safety over truth. And anything built on fear, the Stoics remind us, will eventually ruin your peace. So what do you do when you feel used up emotionally? When you feel like the good parts of you were wasted on the wrong people, and now you're left with the shell that's supposed to date again? The first step is brutal. You stop calling what you gave wasted. You weren't stupid for loving. You weren't weak for trying. You weren't pathetic for hoping it could work. Being good to the wrong people doesn't make your goodness a mistake. It just means they weren't the place where that goodness was meant to stay. The Stoic move is to reclaim your story. They didn't take my best years. They revealed my capacity. They didn't ruin my heart. They showed me my standards need to rise. They didn't prove I'm unlovable. They proved I must stop giving love to people who don't love themselves. Second step, understand what you're actually afraid of. You say, I don't want to be hurt like that again. But pain itself isn't what terrifies you. You've already survived it. What terrifies you is being blindsided again, missing the signs again, ignoring your own intuition again. So this time, you don't just go back in naive. You go back in trained. Stoicism teaches you to separate what you control from what you don't. You can't control whether someone lies, cheats, or leaves. You can control whether you ignore red flags, whether you rush in, whether you abandon your standards at the first sign of attachment. That's where your power is. Not in guaranteeing a happy ending, but in guaranteeing you won't betray yourself for it. Third step, stop letting the worst ones speak for everyone. Right now, your mind is doing lazy pattern recognition. She hurt me. They lied to me. They wasted my time. So love itself is the problem. But love isn't the thing that broke you. Your attachment to the wrong people did. Your refusal to walk when the evidence was clear did. Your belief that pain is proof of depth did. Stoic wisdom is cold here. You learn from what went wrong, or you repeat it with better production value. So you sit down and you ask yourself, what did I ignore because I was lonely? Where did I lower my standards because I was scared to lose them? Which behaviors did I call normal because I didn't want to start over? Honest answers hurt, but they also heal. Because now, those same patterns become your early warning system. Fourth step, rebuild trust in the only person who actually needs it, you. How do I trust again? Is the wrong question. The right question is, how do I trust myself again? You trust yourself by believing what you see over what you hope, leaving the first time your core boundaries are truly broken, listening to your gut when it tightens, instead of talking it out of its own wisdom. You will misread people less when you stop arguing with your own intuition. Fifth step, allow the possibility of good love without promising it a free pass. You don't have to open your chest on day one. You don't have to trauma to dump your whole story. You don't have to prove you're still capable of loving. You move slowly. You notice how they act when you say no, how they behave when you're not convenient, how they react when you show your truth instead of a polished version. You let time reveal character instead of letting chemistry overrule it. And if they turn out to be another lesson, not a home, you grieve, and then you walk, not shattered, not erased, just wiser, clearer, more loyal to yourself than before. Because here is the final twist. You are not actually out of love. You are out of patience for giving it to the wrong people. The right person, the one with their own self-respect, their own standards, their own healed scars, is not looking for the version of you that's still begging to be chosen. They're looking for the version of you that has already chosen himself. That man doesn't say, "I'll never love again." He says, "I will never again love in a way that requires me to abandon myself." You haven't missed your chance. You haven't ruined yourself beyond repair. You're just at the part of the story where you finally decide your heart is not something people get to train on their way to someone else. Join the Stoic Cartel. Come back to the fire tomorrow. We'll keep turning every rejection into fuel for the kind of man you're becoming.